I am a very independent person. I enjoy very much my independence. And had kind of given up on being married and having love in my life again. A friend of mine knew Paula Lee, and we went out to lunch. And by the time we'd finished eating lunch, I knew there was something there between her and I. I could have finished her sentences, and she could have finished mine. It took about another 2 or 3 weeks before we decided that we wanted to get married. February the 11th, I got up in the morning and let my dog out and fell over backwards. That was how I broke my hip. After I got home from the rehab center, I really didn't have any confidence that I would ever be normal again.
When Wynn came to me as a patient, he had had a fall and a hip fracture and a subsequent surgery for that. And coming into the home environment, I think initially his area of focus is on those things that all of us would be focused on in our home. Being able to get in and out of bed, getting dressed and things like that.
Jennifer asked me if I had any specific goals, and I said yes. I would like to dance with my wife at the wedding.
When I first met Wynn, I said, I thought I heard that your goal is to get married, and he beamed and said, yes, that's my goal. From that moment, he won my heart, and we were gonna get him down that aisle. And that's what we did, one step at a time, one button at a time, one belt buckle at a time.
Of course, he was using a walker to get around the house, and to be dancing and going on a trip, he knew that he would need to at least progress to being able to use a cane and having a significant improvement in his strength and balance to be safe.
I would have worked 10 or 12 hours a day if I'd had to gain enough independence to be able to function in my own home.
Seeing patients in their own home lets us see what's meaningful to them. We have an entire world that we get to work on. It opens up what really is meaningful to that patient and not just, oh, here's a pair of shoes, put on a pair of shoes.
One of the things I brought into Wynn's home was essentially some piping that fits together and creates a pattern. Wynn was able to work on stepping right and left, forward and back to ensure that if he did have a loss of balance, he'd be able to have that reactive stepping to catch himself.
It's kind of like a modified box step if you're an old waltzer. And let me tell you, it isn't easy.
Wynn was in our Safe Strides program. That is a system-based assessment. So I was able to assess his balance and sensory systems and determine which of those systems were working well for him, and then target interventions on the systems that needed improvement or compensation or even substitution. He relied heavily on surface dependence for his balance. So by strengthening that system, we were able to improve his safety moving around, for example, on uneven ground.
We worked with things like how to put your socks on, buttoning and unbuttoning shirts. There are just so many things that you have to learn how to do. If I needed it, they would hold my hand and walk me through it. The idea of not trying just wasn't permitted. When we got married, one of Paula's dearest friends gave her a wedding blessing. And when she finished was when we danced. Everything just kind of had a wonderful meaning, and the fact that we were together was very, very wonderful. That all came from the help that I got. CenterWell and the therapists who helped me did an absolutely great job. I wouldn't have been able to progress as fast as I did if they hadn't put in the effort they did. I can't say how much it really helped me get over the part of trying and into the part of doing.